Hey Mercedes.
How may I help you?
I have swamp. Hi internet dwellers, it's your favorite abandoned warehouse Sarah here with another car review. And today I have a 2020 Mercedes GLC300. This is the first Mercedes I've ever reviewed, so what better way to start out with an entry model Mercedes for an entry model car reviewer. I think I just called myself basic in a highly confusing way. I've always respected the fact that Mercedes doesn't really follow trends when it comes to vehicle styling. They do their own thing and they have their own signature look and design to their cars. And they often end up setting trends with that design. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care for chrome on modern cars, but there's something about chrome on a Mercedes that just looks right. I like how Mercedes low-key just throws a big brake kit on their entry model. They don't powder coat the calipers or write Brembo or anything like Mercedes on there to draw your attention to it, but that is a massive caliper on the front brakes of this thing. It's a big brake kit. Some companies will charge you $3 grand for a caliper that big. Oh, and because car review, blah, 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 optional 20-inch wheels. I don't know what it is with the taillights on the GLC, but I'm kind of obsessed with them. They're not over the top or dramatic in any way. They're just crisp, classy, and elegant looking. I love the LED ring that's on the inside of it because it really pops because they use a darker tone of red plastic. And I know that's excessive amount of explanation for a taillight, but I'm a light nerd and these are nice looking lights. I also like the fact that they smuggle the exhaust tips into the rear diffuser because the whole thing is chrome. It blends in. I know to some of my subscribers watching right now, you're probably looking at this going, yep, it's your typical bougie soccer mom mobile. But there's something important that lies underneath here. I'm gonna get to in a moment. Moving to the interior real quick, I'm gonna keep this short, sweet, and to the simple. You guys know I roll. I'm not gonna bore you to death by reading off a brochure. I'm gonna point out the stuff I physically observe from sitting inside this GLC 300, starting with none other than, of course, the seats. I'm not gonna do a bolstering test though, because this isn't the AMG version. Something that took me way too long to figure out is the fact that the buttons are here on the door, not the side of the seat to control the seat movement. So there's even a little button for your headrest. There's a headrest button. Aw, that's just cute. The vents back here look like a little cartoon character with big eyes and a little nose and a flappy mouth like Beaker. It also has the extendable pad underneath your thighs, which is great if you're super tall like me. I get my own speaker and tweeter back here in the same wood grain paneling that you get up front. Kind of reminds me of a desk from elementary school, the paneling they used on the desktop. The fact that they use brushed aluminum on all the buttons all throughout the entire vehicle is impressive. The LED lights here for your map light look like something you'd see in a castle. And speaking of lights, the ambient light package that is in here blows any other ambient light package in any vehicle I've ever reviewed out of the water. I have it set on this purple, what's it called? Purple Rain? No, it's a song. Purple Rain. Ah, Purple Sky. I thought this lighting setting was called Purple Rain, but that's a song. Anyway, there's all kinds of different sets of colors. There's different color effects where you'll have one color up top and then down below, lower in the vehicle, you'll have a different color. This center headrest looks like E.T. Oh, I got my own cubby? Oh, cool. I have my own cubby. And that noise you hear right there, that is actually coming from the mouse pad used to control your infotainment system. And just like an iPhone, it actually has a little vibration and audible click when you scroll things around. So you feel it in your fingertip as well as you can hear it, even though it's just kind of programmed into it synthetically like an iPhone. This center armrest is strong. You put your weight on it. While we're talking about sounds, this is equipped with a Burmeister sound system. I've never even heard of Burmeister before. I guess I'm just not on that level of high society to know what Burmeister is. Ha! I got something on the Mercedes with my Subaru. Back seats don't recline. The fact that the handle right here in the back storage area is metal and chrome, and you look over here, the little hooks on either side are brushed aluminum. Ooh, and that's really soft too. Nice, cute net. All right, time to take this thing for a rip. Now, Mercedes does manufacture one of my all-time favorite cars that I've never driven, so I don't know how it's my favorite, but it's the AMG CLA45. So let's see how much of that DNA is carried through into this engine. In the name of science, I shall now give it the beans. I'm going to use my dynamic mode button down here and put it into Sport Plus. I will also put it into manual mode with the little M down here, just for the fun of it. And also, why not? I'll turn off traction control. Give it a little assistance and let it eat. Go. Oh wow, when it spools up and it spools up low, it shoves you in the seat. This is surprisingly quick. That's good enough. That's surprisingly quick. Aw, such a cute little turbo. Hello, and welcome to Garage Science with Sarah. Unlike most crossovers on the market today, there's something special that sits underneath the hood of this GLC, and it actually shares something in common with my Subaru Forester back there. The fact that the drivetrain is longitudinally mounted. If you're not mechanically inclined, what this means is that the cylinders go 1, 2, 3, 4, and the transmission is facing out the rear, longitudinally mounted. Most crossovers are the other way, where the cylinders go this way and the transmission is on either one of the sides. For 2020, the GLC gets a brand new engine, is the M264 all aluminum 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder that produces 255 horsepower at 5,800 to 6,100 RPM and 273 pound-feet of torque from 1,800 to 4,000 RPM. Just a little twin scroll turbo down there tucked away with a huge downpipe behind it. Time for the braking test. Penguin, you holding on back there? Ready? No one behind me? Go. Oh wow. Oh my god. Because this thing has a higher center of gravity and it's got some big ass brakes on the front, it felt like it was gonna do a flip. Hi, I'm back. Now back on that drivetrain. As I was saying before, this is the base model, so this one is 2-wheel drive. It does not have the 4MATIC all-wheel drive system, which means this is rear wheel drive. And that's what makes this special, because almost all other crossovers on the market, when you get the base model that does not have all-wheel drive standard, like my Subaru back there, it is front wheel drive. So it doesn't suck to get a base model one of these because it's rear wheel drive, and that is still fun. You can also opt for a 4MATIC all-wheel drive system, and on the newest generation of the 4MATIC all-wheel drive systems, it can send up to 100% of the power to the rear or front wheels. That is gangster. That's why they call it a G-tronic. Jokes are fire. Since this is a crossover and it is rear wheel drive, I'm gonna do a mixed review of on and off road. First by sending it through some twisties. Wow! Man! This is really impressive for what it is. I can only imagine what the AMG version would be like. Whoa! Wonder how this would do against the Gump on a back road. I mean, the Gump's my benchmark for crossover performance. I actually really like the 9-speed transmission that's in here. It's not really performance oriented, but it does a good job at blending performance, economy, and comfort all in one package. And when you short shift in it, it kind of gives you little surges when it shifts, but under wide open throttle, it's really buttery smooth. Soft off-roading. This thing's on 20s, it's rear-wheel drive, and it's Mercedes. But it's a crossover, so it's got to at least experience some dirts. You notice I said dirts, plural. It's also like saying shrimps, plural. That just sounds fun. I know it's not proper, but it sounds fun. I feel a little bit of robots doing some work there, making sure I maintain traction. I gotta give it the beans a little bit in the dirt. Whoa, all right. I forgot, this thing's rear-wheel drive. It'll get us sideways a little bit. That's what's up. It'll hang the ass end out though. Hell yeah, dude, this thing's fun. Ooh, oh damn. That looks like it'd be fun to drive up. I'm in a GLC, not a Unimog. So the infotainment system in here has AI built into it, at least that's what Mercedes claims. It learns your speech patterns and custom tailors the controls based on words you typically say, I guess. So we're gonna give that a shot. Hey Mercedes.
How may I help you?
I'm cold.
I'm setting the temperature on the driver's side to 73 degrees.
Okay, that was an easy one.
How may I help you?
I have swamp ass.
I'm sorry, I don't know your spouse's name yet. Please tell me their name. What would you like to do?
It's hot in here. Okay, it changed it to an 80s hair nation station.
What can I do for you?
I'm sweating my ass off.
I'm setting the temperature on the driver's side to 71 degrees.
Hey, it figured it out. It's lowering the temperature. That's what's up. I finally get it now. When you watch a car review and they talk about levels of refinement, this is what refinement is. Keep in mind, this is my first ever experience driving Mercedes. And I'll have to say, this is leaving a lasting impression on me. This is a base model, and it's this nice. And this is under 50 grand. I've driven vehicles more expensive than this that don't even come close to the level of refinement. I feel I'm able to use that word now because I've driven this. If you guys have never seen one of my car reviews before, I have multiple categories that seem like an 8-year-old came up with them to rate and assess vehicles. First up is the bean score. It is a rating of 1 to 5 beans based on the feeling you get in your gut when you give it the beans. And this 2020 Mercedes GLC300 is going to get a rating of 1.5 high quality espresso beans. Espresso beans because fancy or something. This thing is quick, surprisingly quick. I can only imagine though how fast the AMG versions are of one of these, and I hope one day I'll be able to review one for all of you. Technically, because this is off-road right now, it should be getting a meatball score. However, this is not real off-roading, so no meatball score is awarded. I'm sorry, dirt doesn't count as off-road. Next up is the cookie category. It's a rating of 1 to 5 cookies based on what you get for what you spend. It's an assessment of value. And the GLC is gonna get a rating of 3 cookies, which I know seems kind of odd being that this is a base model and it's almost $50,000, but it's getting 3 because of the fact that this is a base model and it's this well equipped. Last up is the penguin score. It is a rating of 1 to 5 penguins based on how I personally like the vehicle. And the GLC 300 is going to get a rating of 2.5 penguins. It's average because the AMG version exists, and that would probably be at the top of the scale. I can only imagine how good it would be if this is as good as it is. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will see you soon with another. Bye!